just right. It's the pull list, here we go. ComixDad's got the highs and lows. From epic wins to flops that miss. He's breaking down the books on the pull list. Superheroes, villains, and lore. He's got opinion you can't ignore. From indie gems to Marvel's might. ComixDad's here to set it right. Panels pop the story, so I'll tell you what's worth fighting for. Some books shine, some books fade. ComixDad's coming in. It's the pull list, here we go. ComixDad's got the highs and lows. From epic wins to flops that miss. He's breaking down the books on the pull list. So grab your stack, don't miss a beat. ComixDad's bringing all the heat. Tune in now, the verdict's in. The pull list, where the comics begin.
Hey everybody, what's going on? ComixDad here for another episode of the Pull List. First and foremost, I do want to apologize to everybody for there not being an episode last week. As I said, both on X and also on any subsequent streams that I had last week. Just last Sunday, there was some stuff going on, just kind of here at home and stuff in real life that was kind of just along with some other things that just kind of had me in a headspace that I was not going to be able to give you guys my all for the show. And honestly, I want to bring you guys my best, not just sit there kind of going through the motions because I got other stuff on my mind. So again, I just apologize to everybody for that. And I thank y'all for being understanding for us not having an episode last week. But I did hope everybody saw my post on X just showing what my pull list recommendations were for last week, though. Thank you all for again for understanding. Hope you guys saw that. Hope you guys picked up some good books last week. So let us get into the chat. Oh, I'm sorry. Before we get into the chat, of course, channel announcements. So first and foremost, we hit 350 subscribers on YouTube. That was our next goal, and we have now hit it. So thank you everybody on the YouTube side who has subscribed and followed and been a supporter, especially since day one from all the way back in December when I started the channel. And the next goal, instead of pushing for 4 or even 450, we're just going to shoot for that sacred 500 subscriber mark and then work on the watch hours from there. So obviously, if I'd love to be able to hit that 500 subscribers by the time the channel hits a year old, which will be at the end of December. So anybody on the YouTube side, if you enjoy the channel, always please hit that like, please hit that subscribe, please hit that share button, and also just share the link tree or share the actual channel URL with your friends, your family, anybody that you know watching stuff on YouTube, anybody that you think will enjoy the channel and all this stuff that I'm doing here between the gaming, talking comics, talking shop, comics couple cafe, the new video that I put out last week, all that good stuff. Rumble side, we are coming in hot and we are closing in on 300 followers on Rumble, which is also another goal that I set. I think last I saw we were sitting right at like 278, close to 280. So again, everybody on Rumble as well, please like and hit that follow if you're here for the first time. Also, please hit that repost button on Rumble. That repost button is clutch. It is key. It's basically just another way of hitting like quote or requote on X. But it goes out there and it's for everybody on Rumble to say. So please hit that repost as well and share the stream. I really appreciate it. But also, same thing, share the link tree, share the actual channel page as well. I appreciate you guys. And also for anybody who on one platform, If you have an account on the other platform, if you wouldn't mind just maybe jumping platforms just to hit that follow or hit that sub and interact with just one video over there. Hit a like, drop a comment, something like that. That would also be really awesome of you guys, and I'd be forever thankful because it just I know I got people that watch on both platforms. So if you guys don't mind just kind of double platforming it, just hit that follow, hit that sub, all good in the hood. Also, a speaking of new video that I mentioned a minute ago, I dropped a new video on the channels. Oh, and also, I'm sorry, real quick, hello to everybody watching on Kick, which is right now a total of 0. But I'm just streaming on Kick just for the fun of it. But as I was saying, dropped a new video on the channel, both on YouTube and on Rumble. I don't have a definitive name for it. In the thumbnail, I put Mixed Showdown, but I don't really know what exactly I want to call this yet. But I hope everybody's checked it out. I hope if you haven't checked it out yet, please go check it out after the show is over tonight. It's only about a 5.5 minute video or so, and what it is basically I had the idea of I just want to because I know if people have done it before, like Death Battle, and like Fantasy Match, and other bigger channels and video series out there have done it before, but I just kind of wanted to put my own take on kind of like a what if of a 1v1 of comic book characters. And this first video that I did was Electro and Shocker. But in order to see what I thought about who would win in that fight, you got to go watch the video. But do it after the stream. Please go check it out, though. Also, Queen Comics Wife put out her first, not her first video, but her first video that she officially edited and put together and published all by herself. Normally I give her a hand with it, but she wanted to do it all by herself. Out of her, she did a great job. It's just some clips, some photos, and some clips of from when we went to Gettysburg for 4th of July weekend and saw a Civil War reenactment. So please hop over to Queen Comics Wife's channel on YouTube and on Rumble. Go check that out and show her some love as well. Tomorrow we are going to be doing a Rumble, not Rumble Premium, but it's going to be Rumble exclusive stream. We're going to continue playing Pokemon Red, and we're going to be doing that exclusively over on Rumble tomorrow night. So come on over to Rumble. If you're on YouTube, create a Rumble account, come on over, watch that. You don't miss out, so you don't miss out. And then this Thursday, Talking Shop is back. My episode is going to be Panda Sub 2000, who is a wonderful, awesome guy. He is the ultra best at gaming. His channel is over on Rumble, but he also does a lot of work with Craig and Blabs, and he works on Side Scrollers podcast. So that's going to be an awesome show too. Now, without further ado, let's get into the chat and say hello. We're 14 minutes in, so a little bit of a long intro today, but let's get on in there. White Devil Otaku said, getting close to that 300, man. Yeah, we're getting close there over on the Rumble side. Nexion is here, says, hey, Nexion, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Gorilla Mar is here, says, what's up, guys? What's up, Gorilla Mar? How are you, dude? Patty Quinn with the Spidey headbang during the opening. Hell yeah. Nexion said, yo, bud, excited to see what you're getting. I am too. I was looking at it earlier, but I forgot a couple of things that I put on there already, so I'm going to be a little bit of short-term memory loss going on, so I'm going to be excited what I put on the list for this week. Pyrathis, aka Levistro, said 2 people did not like the stream. Shame on 2 people. No, we're not shaming anybody, Levistro, but thank you for being here, brother. Oh, and also, ladies and gentlemen, blerps are live on this show, on this stream. So if you want to help support the channel and have a little bit of fun in very small, very, very small ways, a quarter per sound, a minimum of 10 cents per sound, blerps are active for this stream tonight. To play them. Patty Quinn, just again, more headbang. Cool. And I appreciate everybody being here. That's everybody in the chat right now. I see 12 people are watching between YouTube and Rumble. He goes, we know me. Yes, I'll shame the fuck out of them. Fair enough, Levisha. But thank you to 12 of you watching, 4 on YouTube, 8 on Rumble. Also, we had a great stream last night, hanging out with Sergeant Wilkie, Fatal Investing, Solely Switch, and Rants' Gaming Corner over on Rumble. Well, we were on YouTube and Rumble, but they were over on, they're all Rumble channels. And we were playing Mario Kart 8 last night, and so if you were able to see it, awesome. And if not, go check everybody out. Go rewatch the stream from last night. It was a lot of fun. Queen Comics Wife played too. She didn't stream, but she was in the background. You could hear her. There was a lot of fun back and forth between everybody, and all those channels that I was playing with. All their links are in the description of that stream from last night. So please go later when you get a chance as well. Okay. Now, without further ado, because the way that the show's going to run tonight, normally I know we go through various publishers. We always hit the big ones: Marvel, DC, Image, and then a couple other ones. And I go through publisher by publisher, talk about books, talk about recommendations. We're doing something a little bit different tonight, just because I do have some actual comic book news I want to talk about tonight too, but I don't want a 2 hour stream. This is initially when I first came up with the idea of this show, I wanted it to be like a nice hour or so show, just a quick hour, talk about some comics, talk to you guys for a little bit, and then get done for the night. But the last couple of shows have gone like hour and a half, 2 hours. So I'm trying something a little bit different tonight, especially because I have comic book news I want to go over as well. So what we're doing is we're just going to go through exactly what I've put on the poll list, and I'll talk a little bit about the books that are on the poll list. But we're not going to be going publisher by publisher tonight and looking at every single book that the publishers are releasing this week. We're also not going to be doing any trash box recommendations this week. We are only doing poll list recommendations this week. That is all we're doing this week. We're going to try to keep it a little light, a little positive this week as well. Because, like I said, we've got some awesome comic book news, mostly awesome comic book news to go over as well. But let us first get into the poll list. So, ladies and gentlemen, as always, I am using leagueofcomicgeeks.com. They are not a sponsor of the channel, but in any way, shape, or form. I just love their site. They have a mobile app as well. Great way to catalog your comic book collection, add stuff to your poll list, add stuff to your want list, see what's coming up in the coming weeks. I think you go as far out 3 months to see what's coming up in the world of comics in terms of new comic books. But you could also rate reviews on there, and and depending upon what books you have, you can go look at them, and sometimes you'll get a rough estimate for a raw and a graded copy of certain issues of comics. So Byron of Sidious is here. Says greetings all. Byron of Sidious, what's going on, man? Good to see you, brother. Welcome back. Glad you're here. We're just getting into the poll list right now. But these are in. I had these sorted alphabetically because, unfortunately, one thing I do have to say that I don't like with this site is that for my poll list, I can't sort the list by publisher. I can sort it alphabetically, forwards and backwards. I could sort it by date and all that stuff, but that doesn't make any sense because they're all releasing on the same day. Because Wednesday is New Comic Book Day. I wish I could sort it by publisher alphabetically. That is one thing. I may actually email them and ask them if they could add that into their thing. They probably won't care, but it is what it is. Anyway, regardless, League of Comic Geeks, great app. Highly recommend it. They are not a sponsor of the channel in any way, shape, or form. It's just personally what I like to use. Byron of Cydia says, odd news from the Fallout. I see. I dug issue number 1. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that, man. We're gonna talk about that. It was a really cool, really interesting book. But let's just start getting into some of these. We're gonna start from the top. We're gonna work our way down. So first things first, Queen Comics Life specifically is gonna be interested in this one. We have Werewolf by Night, Blood Moon Rises #1. So we have new Werewolf by Night. I don't know if this is supposed to be a one. I think it's supposed to be a one shot. Yeah, I can't click this next button down here. So yeah, this is a Werewolf by Night one shot. And it's from. Oh, okay. So it's been written by the director who did the Werewolf by black and white Disney Plus exclusive special cinematic feature. I call it a movie. I think it was like an hour and 10 minutes, hour and 15 minutes. So not long enough to be a full-fledged, like a feature-length movie, but it was a film. It was a movie. But written by that director. So I loved that. I remembered seeing that on Disney Plus when it first came out. What was that, 2020, I think? End of 2020. Before Marvel Studios started putting out all sorts of crap and bullshit. Maybe it was the end of 2019. I don't know. I don't remember what, but it was awesome regardless. And my wife, she loves Werewolf by Night. She has a good number of the original run of Werewolf by Night in her collection. But yeah, so I'm just going to read through it here. Yeah, from the director of the critically acclaimed Marvel Studios special presentation Werewolf by Night, Michael Giacchino, sure, that's how we say his name, comes a first of its kind tale of terror in the Marvel Universe with one goal in mind: to show you why Werewolf by Night is captivating as ever with over 50 years of comics history and 100 times as many bodies in his wake. So this is just going to be a one shot. It looks like it's going to be 32 pages, so it's not even going to be like a giant size or anything like that. But I mean, at least it looks like it's going to be a one shot. Who knows? Maybe it's not going to be a one shot. Maybe it's going to be more. But as of right now, I can't click on next, so it looks like for the time being, it's just going to be a one and done. But I mean, it looks like it's going to be awesome. And David Messina is the artist. David Messina does great. I love his art. I mean, really, Eddie. Most artists do great work. I love most artists' work anyway because it's more than I'll ever be able to do in my lifetime. But yeah, this Werewolf by Night, Blood Moon Rise is definitely on my pull list recommendation for this week. I am curious on the timing though, because it is July. It's releasing this week at the end of July. Usually Werewolf by Night stuff the last couple of years, they've been putting out Werewolf by Night one shots and specials right around September, October, right around that Halloween time. So I am a little curious why they're putting it out kind of midsummer. But I mean, that doesn't bother me. I'm looking forward to a really cool story out of it. So Werewolf by Night, Blood Moon Rise is number one, is getting the pull list recommendation. So let's get into the next one. I've got the Ultimates number 14. So the Ultimates number 12 is where that second story arc ended. I read 13 a couple weeks ago. I was really enjoying it, and we're getting Ultimate Scarlet Witch and Ultimate Quick. You tell by the cover here. Hopefully they'll be joining the team and trying to take down the Maker's Council before the Maker comes back and helps the Ultimates prepare for the Maker. But I've been enjoying the Ultimates. It's definitely kind of like from issue, kind of that middle, that second arc really, that issue 7 to 12. I wasn't a huge fan of. 1 to 6 I really enjoyed. 7 to 12. I mean, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't as good as the first 6. But 13 was really cool. I really like 13. It's starting to pick back up, get into kind of this next phase of the Ultimates really ramping up their efforts to try to get global recognition of what's going on with the Maker's Council and the Maker, and trying to really build out their forces for when the Maker returns. But yeah, so this should be good. Then he has surprised me with this because he a lot of what he's been writing has been hit or miss, especially for individual characters. But overall, he's been doing a really good job with this. So Ultimates number 14. Of course, like I said, this is all just pull list recommendations this week. We're not doing any trash box recommendations. We're not just going to talk about stuff that we're kind of on the fence about. All gas this week. Of course, hold on. That's not what I wanted to do. There we go. We'll just open a new tab. Of course, we are absolutely 100%. This is probably going to be my pick of the week because it's always my number one pick whenever it comes up each month. Ultimate Spider-Man number 19. Three-way dance, all-out war. Fisk versus Mr. Negative versus Mysterio, with Spider-Man and his allies caught in the middle. Where Spidey's back in town. Peter Parker's back in town. So is his son Richard. The whole family's, well, not the whole family, but Spidey and Richard back in town. Harry's alive again. They're ready to go take on Fisk with the help of the Mysterios. And just in case you didn't read 18, I'm not gonna spoil how 18 ended, but yeah, we're getting, and unfortunately, because there's only gonna be, let's see, 19. There's only 6 issues left of Ultimate Spider-Man until it's over. So we're getting into that final push before we have the really super big climactic encounter and fight between Peter Parker and Fisk, and if the Maker's going to make an appearance in the last issue or two, I don't know. Maybe, possibly. I'm kind of hoping, but at the same time, I'm kind of hoping not, because if he does, Peter's not ready for the Maker, as far as I'm concerned. So the Maker may just like say, "Poof, you're gone." But so hopefully that doesn't happen to him at the end of the series, because Jonathan Hickman has been doing a phenomenal job writing this. Mark Cicchetto has been doing a fantastic job with the art. I've been loving his artwork. I actually reached out to Mark Cicchetto a couple. Oh, did I? Oh no, no, I'm sorry. I didn't reach out to Mark Chickchetto because he's still working with Marvel. So this way, just in case I said if he came on to Talking Shop and I said something like kind of anti-Marvel or whatever, like I don't want to put him in a bind. But once Ultimate Spider-Man #4 or to number 20, the end of Ultimate Spider-Man releases, I will be reaching out to Mark Chickchetto. I think his DMs are open on X. I'm going to be reaching out to. If not, I'm going to mention him in a post or something, but I will be reaching out to him to see if I can get him on the show because his artwork has done a phenomenal job at just amplifying the storytelling that Jonathan Hickman's been doing in this series. But yeah, Ultimate Spider-Man number 19. Can't ever talk too highly about Ultimate Spider-Man and what Jonathan Hickman and Mark Chickchetto have been doing with it for the last 18 issues. So yeah, definitely that's gonna be our pick of the week. So this is a special one here. So we have a facsimile edition as our next book. Is going to be Superman #1, the very standalone Superman story. Um, we are getting it all 64 pages of it. The facsimiles usually go for modern day cover price of $4.99. This one is coming in at a price of $10.99, but quite honestly, A, at 64 pages, and B, considering it is Superman #1, I feel that that is a justified price tag of $10 for this. It's for anybody that doesn't know, facsimile editions are exact one-to-one reprints with original art, original newspaper ads, all that stuff that are put in the comics from whatever year they were initially published. Hey, the mayor of Orc City is here. Says greetings from Orc City. What's going on, Mr. Mayor of Orc City? How are you, brother? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. I hope you've been well. But yeah, Superman #1 facsimile edition, the one reprint. These facsimile editions, I mean, there's a lot of them printed, but even then, like they sell like hotcakes because people want them because usually they're of key issues that are possibly hard to get, or just really ridiculously priced for the average everyday person. So a lot of people go pick up these facsimile editions when they come out. People do foil ones as well. I personally am not a fan of the foil ones. I feel that kind of takes away from from how special it is that it's a one-to-one reprint of an iconic story. That's just me. That's just my opinions on it though. But yeah, Superman #1 facsimile edition. Go pick it up this week. $10 is not a bad price tag for that. Yeah. Spider-Man versus Wolverine, or Spider-Man and Wolverine. So at first, I was very uneasy about this title. I was not sure because Mark Guggenheim has a great track record, but at the same time, I had heard some things from some people. I kind of blame myself just because instead of giving it a chance myself at first, I was kind of going off of the word of some others that was trusting. But I ended up eventually going and reading #1 of this, and honestly, I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. And it looks like they're going into the Savage Land in issue 3. And if it's if it just keeps ramping up the way that it ramped up in the first 2 issues, I'm here. I've been enjoying this. So Spider-Man and Wolverine out of Marvel by Mark Guggenheim. Go pick it up. Absolutely 100% recommend this week. Now this one's going to be cool. So as you guys know, especially at Dynamite Entertainment, I've been enjoying the whole, I've been enjoying what they've been doing with the Herculoids and Space Ghost, Darkwing Duck, DuckTales, all that good stuff out of Dynamite Entertainment. Mad Cave Studios is putting out a Speed Racer series. Now, this is really interesting. Hey, Error of Fate, what's going on, man? It says, hello, fellow humans. I'm not going to be able to attend today. Have fun, everyone. Have yourself a good day, ComixDad. Goodbye, fellow humans. And Nexion, yeah, before I can even talk about this, Nexion goes, yes, get this. Yes, Mad Cave Studios. I like Mad Cave Studios. Mad Cave Studios, there's not a whole lot out of them that I enjoy. But when I do find something that I like out of them, it's not that I just find it mildly entertaining or it like tickles an itch. Like the couple of things that I really liking out of Mad Cave Studios, I end up loving them. So Mad Cave Studios, Speed Racer #1. I'm just gonna read the blurb here because I'm excited for this just because of Speed Racer. But an all-new interpretation of Tatsu Yoshida's classic manga/anime, Mach Go Go Go, known to Western audiences as Speed Racer. Speed Racer lives for the thrill of the race, but on the underground circuit, the rules are anything goes. Dodging bullets, explosions, and dirty tricks, he's got one goal: to prove he's the best. But when a dangerous syndicate targets his family, Speed's greatest challenge won't be on the track. it'll be on the streets. With the police closing in and a masked racer lurking in the shadows, Speed is about to learn that some races can't be won with horsepower alone. And it just goes into talking about the team. Oh, well, there we go. Award-winning writer Pepos, who worked on Space Ghost, Captain Planet, and Savage Avengers. Love Space Ghost, Avengers, Captain Planet. If it's that current Captain Planet book that's out through Dynamite Entertainment, I have not been enjoying Captain Planet. Just not gonna lie, Captain Planet has not been good in my opinion. But 2 for 3 ain't bad though. And superstar artist David Tinto worked on Ultraman. Okay, and worked on Star Wars. Oh, Star Wars Bounty Hunters. I enjoyed Star Wars Bounty Hunters, at least the early issues of it. Co-pilot and action-packed reboot of the classic franchise. Start your engine. The cool thing about this is that they've already announced that they're also doing Racer X titles. So I am absolutely super stoked about this. I remember watching. Hey, Cole Hauser, what's going on, brother? Says Hail ComixDad. Hail Cole Hauser. How are you, dude? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you here. I hope you're enjoying yourself, man. I hope you've been all right, and I hope you enjoyed that Transformers convention. What, almost 2 weeks ago was that? Or maybe it was last weekend. I forget which, but I hope you enjoyed that, man. I know Jay did a video about it. I haven't been around to watching it yet, but I definitely want to watch. I'm definitely going to watch it. But anyway, oh, and Cole Hauser has a phenomenally awesome Transformers collection. So if you want to go ahead, go follow Cole Hauser on X. You go check out when he posts photos about his collection and stuff. It's really impressive. It's really awesome. Yeah, 2 weeks ago, it was awesome. Yeah, man, dude, I wish I could have been there. A, I don't have a passport, and B, also it just things are going on, can't go on. Hey, Subhuman 84 is here. What's going on, Subhuman 84? Says can't wait for Speed Racer. Yeah, we're just in the middle of talking about it. I'm excited for it. I remember watching Speed Racer in syndication on Saturday mornings as a kid. I enjoyed it then. If I were to find it and watch it today, I'd enjoy it just as much now. I can't to dig my teeth into this week. This is now granted. Preface: I can't go out and buy every single book that's on my personal pull list personally, just because that would bankrupt me and my wife would get mad. But Street Racer is one of the ones that I'm actually going to pick up for my personal pull list as well. So like all the books that I show on the show that I recommend, I mean, I would love to be able to get them all, but unfortunately I can't. I got to pick and choose, but I stand by my recommendations, and if it ends up being a bad recommendation, I own it. I did that once already with something that was really, really bad that I think is coming out next week that I'll be all sorts of crap about next week, if it's coming out next week. But yeah, like I said, I've also seen they've announced Racer X titles as well for Mad Cave Studios. So this Speed Racer, it seems like they've already got something big in the works with this. It's not just going to be like a one-off thing, a one and done. I'm really excited for Speed Racer. So this is more just in honor of my daughter, Sonic the Hedgehog. If you love Sonic the Hedgehog, you probably love the Sonic the Hedgehog comics. We've just gotten enhanced stories focusing on Team Chaotix, on Shadow, on Sonic, on all the ancillary characters. IDW's been running with Sonic for 80 issues now, and then also other storylines as well, other Sonic titles. But this is the main Sonic the Hedgehog title. So just it's Sonic. It's always a fun time. You can't go wrong with Sonic. They don't really do anything wrong with it. They don't, fortunately, at least from the bit that I've read, Sonic reader, but from the handful of issues here and there that I've read out of this run, has not been the worst, and it's still pretty kid friendly, which is great because my older one will read it if I get it for her. So yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog number 80, absolutely pull list. Subhuman 84 says, and the Phantom. That's right. Yes, I did see the Phantom was also coming to Mad Cave. So, which is interesting that Mad Cave Studios is starting to get in on some of this nostalgia, some of these IPs, like Dynamite's been doing for so long. So that's going to be curious to see how they do it. So this is, I don't know if your local comic shops will have this or not. But this is an ash can. So if anybody doesn't know what an ash can is, it's basically like a small, I think it's like a 5x7 shortened comic book, typically in black and white. It's almost like a preview book in a sense for a title, but this is out of Image. It's called Skinbreaker. It's written Robert Kirkman, creator of Invincible, creator of The Walking Dead, creator of all the other titles that spin out of the Invincible universe and the Walking Dead universe. Robert Kirkman also is going to be taking over Transformers as of issue number 25. And he is in charge of the Energon universe over at Image Skybound, which includes the current run of Transformers, the current run of G.I. Joe, not G.I. Joe Real American Heroes, but G.I. Joe and the subsequent books around that, which is, I think, 10 issues in right now. And then also Void Rivals. Robert Kirkman is writing Void Rivals. So Robert Kirkman's got a lot of stuff going on with Image and Skybound, and no signs of slowing down. So Skinbreaker, Ashcan, if your local comic shop has it, go grab it. If not, it's unfortunate. But I mean, it's a free thing, or it should be a free thing, because right here it says $0. But if your comic shop is charging for it, don't let them charge you more than like $2 for it. So we're gonna go into a little manga right now. Only a couple titles, but Sakamoto Days number 223 gonna be coming out in the weekly Shonen Jump. So Sakamoto Days is a lot of fun. Sakamoto Days, I've seen about the manga. I read a little bit of the manga before I started watching the anime on Netflix, but then I started watching the anime, and I need to go back and now read the manga to get caught up. But Sakamoto Days is awesome. For anybody that doesn't know what Sakamoto Days is, Sakamoto Days is a story about a hitman, the world's greatest hitman, or at least Japan's greatest hitman. His name is Sakamoto, and one day he ends up meeting a girl, falling in love, and retiring from being a hitman. It's been, I think, about 5 years or so since he retired. He's a little chubbier now. He's got a family, and he's running a convenience store. One of his former proteges ends up running into him through a series of events. Ends up him, and other people are out to try to get him because they realize that, hey, this guy's still alive. Oh, hey, this guy is still like around and kicking, and we can't allow that. And so, without getting too much into it, it's a lot of fun. It's got a lot of humor in it. It's got a lot of awesome fights and action, but it tells a great story as well. So check out Sakamoto is the manga or the anime, either one, whichever you prefer. All right, back to Mad Cave Studios. Mad Cave Studios has The Pale Knight. The Pale Knight, I've been enjoying The Pale Knight. So The Pale Knight is a story about a knight from the Crusades. He's come back home from the Crusades, and part of it is there's a plague spreading across Europe, spreading across England, and he is going home. He heads home with his apprentice. I can't remember the actual medieval term for his steward. But he ends up getting it back to his family. His wife is fine, but his son has fallen sick with this plague, with this disease, and he is troubled by all the lives and the mindless, senseless violence that he committed while out fighting in the Crusades. But he ends up making a deal with Death, and Death basically wants him to go and kill this one knight from the Crusades, this one warrior from the Crusades that has somehow escaped his grasp. So and he's just kind of telling, meeting up with people trying to track this guy down, and things that happened in between. But The Pale Knight is a lot of fun. It's a good read. Go pick it up. Mad Cave Studios. All right, news from the Fallout. Now, who was it that mentioned this earlier? Byron of Sidious. Yes, Byron of Sidious mentioned this earlier. News from the Fallout. I see. I dug issue 1. I dug issue 1 also. News from the Fallout is a story about. I want to say it's right around 1940s, Middle America or Western America in the desert. Basically, nuclear testing facility, and there are soldiers that are told to go into a bunker in the middle of a testing facility and see. And basically, they're test dummies, they're test subjects to see what happens with them wearing gas masks and see if they can survive the radiation of the blast from nuclear testing. One soldier survives, he gets out, but all these other guys, things start happening. He ends up running for his life. He ends up making it to a town, into a cafe. It's like, basically, hey, shut her up, get ready. And the interesting thing about this book is that the artwork that you're seeing on the cover, that is the exact same as the artwork from inside the entire book. it's it's very gritty. It's all black and white and grayscale, but it's very gritty and not clean lines. It's a little messy, but on purpose. And it makes for an interesting it makes for an interesting visual storytelling experience as you're actually reading the story. Um, I'm not gonna say I hate it, but I do wish they maybe just cleaned it up a tiny bit because there are a couple of things in that first issue that were a little hard to make out, like some features here and there. But overall, I loved it. I really had a lot of fun reading it. So, News from the Fallout #2, go check it out. Mega Man X timeliness. My bad. So there was a couple weeks ago. There was just regular Mega Man timeliness. Or no, it's not timeliness. I can't read. It's timelines. My bad. But Mega Man X timelines. Here you go. You can see this I think was a variant cover, but it's just telling stories of the various forms of Mega Man, the various iterations of Mega Man. So this one was OG Mega Man, Rockman. Um, this next one is going to be telling a story from the Mega Man X universe, where Mega Man, he is known as X. He is a Maverick Hunter from the video games, the game for an X franchise. But it should be cool. It should be a lot of fun. These are all standalone one shots, but I think I don't know if they're going to be tying them all together or not. But regardless, if you love Mega Man, you like a good Mega Man story, go pick this up. Mega Man X Timelines. Medieval Spawn. I'm not a big Spawn fan, but this Medieval Spawn, it works as a standalone story, and it's very intriguing. It's very interesting. This medieval Spawn, this knight Spawn. Um, he's there's some stuff going on with a young man that he had saved that he's kind of training to become a knight and fight against the demons of hell and all that. It's it's building up to something because they kind of they don't necessarily spoil the end in the first issue, but it's one of those things where it's like they kind of give you a hint of what happens at the very end of the story, or something that happens at the very end of the story. But then it goes back and it's telling the story up until that point. We basically, as the readers, have to make our way there. But it's a fun read. I really enjoy it. Rory McConville is doing a serviceable job writing this story. It's not perfect. There's some plot holes here and there. There's a couple of things that don't connect, that don't necessarily land the right way. But overall, it is not a bad story that he's telling. I've been enjoying it, and I like medieval settings. I like medieval settings. I like high fantasy settings. It's a nice step away from Modernia and the typical superhero story and stuff like that. So go check out Medieval Spawn. Where are we now? So this, I added this just because I have a feeling that this is just going to be something good for the kids. I hope I'm right. I mean, after all, we are talking Disney/Marvel, Disney Marvel. So there's a lot of room for me to be wrong on this. Don't get me wrong. It's Goofy. You can't really screw up Goofy, and it's what if Goofy became Spider-Man. I'm just gonna read this. Goofy's amazing fantasy. Goofy becomes the amazing Spider-Man in this tale that's sure to make you say "Gorsh." Goofy Parker must learn the ultimate lesson of responsibility to save his beloved Uncle Ben, and wait till you see what he does to those Beagle Boys. What the fuck did I do that? I just did it. Paul Hauser said, "Yeah, never got into Spawn, just Transformers, GI Joe, and Robotech." Yeah, Robotech is awesome, man. I was more of a Gundam kid than a Robotech kid. Robotech was just a little bit before my time. But yeah, Gundam was awesome. Robotech's awesome. Never really got into Spawn, but Transformers has been my thing. Daramuth says, "Hey, ComixDad, seen you on some other streams. Thanks, brother. How you been, Daramuth? Everybody go check out Daramuth over on YouTube and on Rumble. He's a great guy. He likes just having conversations, kind of like I do on Talking Shop. But it's just I have a little more structure, and he likes a little more free flowing conversations. And I went on there one time, and I gotta tell you, I had a great time talking to the dude. Daramuth is a fantastic guy. He's a fantastic watch. Go check him out on YouTube and on Rumble. Give him a sub and a follow. But where was I? Yeah, Disney Marvel and Disney. What if Goofy became Spider-Man? Like I said, I feel like this will be just a fun story for the kids to read. Um, I hope I'm not gonna kick myself in the ass for saying that. I hope I don't have to do my second retraction next week on the show. Um, but yeah, it's cautious optimistic that this should be just good old fashioned fun for the kids. Hopefully, uh, Lost Fantasy number 2. Lost Fantasy number 3 came out last week. But what this is just a reprint. If you can't find Lost Fantasy, this is I also just like this reprint because the cover is just it's got that OG PlayStation 1 feel to it. It's got a Metal Gear Solid inspired cover, which is cool. One of the either the reprints or cover variants for number 1 was paying homage to the cover of Final Fantasy 7. So I really like what they're doing with that. But Lost Fantasy is it's interesting. It's like a fantasy. It's like a fantasy slash supernatural crime murder mystery ish. Um, the first issue they do a lot of the world building, setting the tone for like this kind of fantasy world that exists kind of exists on the opposite side of a parallel to our world, but creatures and people come and go through it. And there's like the tentalized detectives and warriors fighters that come through to try to keep the beasts at bay and send them back or dispatch them. But it's been a fun read. I've been enjoying it. Number 4 is coming out next month. Number 3 just came out last week. But Lost Fantasy number 2, I put this on here just because it's a reprint. If you haven't been able to pick it up, go pick this up. And also this cover's really cool. Nice homage to Metal Gear Solid. Justice League Dark Tomorrow Show. This is DC all in. Now, as I've prefaced before on the show, hold on one second. Let me see. Gorilla Lamar said, "I'm into the Ninja Turtles and I'm loving their new run written by Jason Aaron." Well, Gorilla Lamar, I have some news for you. We'll get into that because there's some news about the Ninja Turtle series. But just hang on. Once we get through the pull list, I'll be getting into the news, into comic book news, and that is something that I do have to talk about with comic book news. Darmuth said, though I would like to ask, are you free on the 30th of August, which is this one? That's not this Wednesday. That's July. That's July 30th. Tentatively, yes, Darmuth, the 30th of August, which is a Saturday, I believe. Do me a favor, buddy. In like a week or so, shoot me a DM. Yeah, it's a Saturday. Yeah, just do me a favor, shoot me a DM in like a week or two, just to confirm that, because I mean things can always change, especially in real life with this stuff. As you know, streaming scheduling and scheduling guests for streaming is always a rotating door, and balancing a lot of plates. But yeah, reach out to me in a week or two, brother, and we'll put it in stone if as long as nothing changes. But anyway, as a DC, I'm not a huge DC head. I don't read a lot of DC, and most of my DC knowledge is, I mean, it's above the normie level, but just like barely. But I did pick this one out just because we are getting a story written by Mark Waid and Mark Guggenheim, two writers that I actually respect, and I like their stories from the little bit that I have read from them out of DC, but also a lot of stuff that they have both written over at Marvel and other places as well. But I just and considering this is number 1, I feel like a solid Justice League story is kind of what's needed, right? And also, if you just look at the cover, it looks like we get Batman Beyond on here as well, with Tracy McGinnis. So that's going to be interesting. A little bit of time travel probably going on in this, which should be pretty cool. But I mean, just just the cover alone kind of draws me in. It looks like we've got something going on with Booster Gold as well, and the Huntress. But yeah, it's got me intrigued enough to go check it out. But yeah, go check out Justice League Dark Tomorrow Special number 1. That's pull list recommended. Where are we next? Okay, before we get into this, Darmuth for $2 on Rumble says, "For a dude making it big." Enjoy your night, ComixDad. Darmuth, brother. I appreciate the $2, but making it big, I don't know about that, dude. I do not know about that. But thank you for the $2 over on Rumble, Darmuth. I appreciate you, brother. This is for you. Can't use the actual song because I get copyright. I get copyright claimed every time. So I found some pretty cool generic AI music. But Bully Maguire, the best, the best Toby Spidey. Well, okay, maybe not the best Toby Spidey, but the best Toby Peter Parker. But anyway, GI Joe #7. So this is a reprint. Anytime GI Joe, Void Rivals, and Transformers All Out of Image Skybound come up for reprints, I am automatically 100% putting them on the pull list. I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually not caught up on GI Joe. I think I'm on issue number 5. Was the last, or issue 5 was the last one that I read. But I've been enjoying the story that Joshua Williamson has been writing over there. There's also a couple of one shots to read as well around a couple of the other key figures in the GI Joe universe that kind of tie into everything. I just got to get caught up on GI Joe. GI Joe's kind of I don't want to say it's the least important to me out of the 3 in the Energon universe between Transformers, Void Rivals, and GI Joe. But it's the one that I just have not put as much attention in terms of my own personal reading. Obviously, Transformers first. Love what Data Warren Johnson's doing. It's a shame that after issue 24, he's stepping away to go work on some other stuff. Robert Kirkman's coming in, stepping in from there, and hopefully he'll just keep on going with the momentum that Danny Warren Johnson's been building for 2 years. But GI Joe, I like I said, the first 5 issues I enjoyed GI Joe. I have enjoyed GI Joe. I just need to get caught up on it. But also I like the reprint covers because they do these for Transformers as well, where they'll do reprints. And the covers will be featuring an Autobot on one and a Decepticon on another, with the Autobot and Decepticon images in the background. So that's what we got here. We got, excuse me, we've got Beachhead on this one, on this cover here, with the Blue Joe icon there, and then on this one, we've got Major Blood, obviously the Cobra icon in the background. And just cool little neat thing for collectors out there if they like collecting their favorite characters on covers and stuff. That's why that's on there. That's all that is. Joshua Williamson is killing it with GI Joe. Yeah, like I said, it's not that I don't like GI Joe. It's not that I don't like what they're doing. It's just a matter of I just gotta get caught up on it. I got so much stuff I gotta read. That between that and the kids and finding a job and the other stuff I've been doing, it just seems like there's not enough time to read all the comics I want to read. But I am making a point of it to, by the end of the summer, get caught up on Joe and read the one shots that they've done as well that tie into the series. Cole Hauser says, "Yo, Joe." That's right. Yo, Joe. Subhuman. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when the Baroness turns heel. And Nexion says, "I love G.I. Joe." Yes, it is a matter of when the Baroness turns. You're right there, brother. But we got this next one. So this next one a little bit more obscure. It's out of Massive Publishing. Now, Massive Publishing, I like Massive Publishing because there is a series that they have 2 volumes of, 6 issues each. And it is called Quested. And it's a very tongue-in-cheek fantasy story about a crew of adventurers who they're kind of more like con artists and scammers than anything else. They go around putting damsels in distress, who's the damsel in distress typically is usually one of their own. They use her as bait. And they end up fighting off a monster, some of which the actual monster is just another friend of theirs. It's a lot of fun. There's references to all sorts of different fantasy and video game type of characters in the first few issues of the first volume as well, which was a lot of fun to see. But Detective Kaiju is a detective that appears in the series, and he's an awesome, and B, he is hilarious. So he apparently has gotten his own series. I didn't know there was even an issue 1 of this, so when I saw that this popped up for this week, I immediately knew I had to add it to the pull list. Quested is a little bit of a tougher find out there, so if you're able to find Quested at your local comic shops, or even at a secondhand store, like a Second and Charles or a thrift store or something like that, grab it. There's 6 volumes or 6 issues in the first volume, 6 issues in the second volume, and now we've got Detective Kaiju. Just go check it out. Quested and the Quested universe is just a heck of a lot of fun to read. It's just a good time. You're gonna laugh a lot. So go check it out. Where are we now? We are at DC X Sonic the Hedgehog #5. Like I've been saying for the last couple of months, and every time that I see reprints of this miniseries coming up, people have been enjoying the heck out of this. I finally got around to reading the first about 2 weeks ago. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. A lot of fun stuff, a lot of good stuff they're doing with DC and Sonic Universe crossovers. I have too much away on it, but it's you got classic DC villains and classic Egghead or Eggman, depending upon which way you like to you like calling them. Eggman, Robotnik, just coming together trying to do villain stuff, and the Justice League and Sonic and his whole crew, they're just trying to stop them. And it's a fun read, it's a fun time. So every time I see this pop up, I automatically recommend this. DCX Sonic the Hedgehog, go pick it up. Cole Hauser says season 3 Transformers G1 has the best crossover with G.I. Joe, Flint and Lady J's daughter, and Cobra Commander. Yeah, I have been trying to get through G1 again on Tubi with the kiddos. Unfortunately, it's just hard because there's a lot of other stuff that's been coming out lately that they need to watch more. Not that necessarily that they don't like watching Transformers with me. It's just there's been some other stuff that's come on that they've liked watching more, like especially movie on Netflix over the last couple of months called K-pop Demon Hunters. They're watching that like every other day. It's a good movie. It's a fun movie. We've watched it a few times with them. But like there's just kids. They want to watch new stuff and stuff that's a little more relatable to them. But it's not like that they don't not like they don't like watching G1 Transformers with me. It's just there's other things they just rather do sometimes. That's all. But yeah, I don't. It's been so long since I've watched through the whole franchise, of G1 Transformers, which is why I'm attempting to go through it on Tubi with the kids. But until I finish the rewatch, I don't think I could definitively say I have a favorite season. We're in season 2 right now, so anyway, we got 3 more here, and then we'll get into some comic book news. So, content features #1. This one, again, I picked this out more specifically for Queen Comics Wife and for anybody else that's out there that's a fan of monsters and creatures and stuff like that. This is from a small indie publisher called American Mythology Productions. They do, like I said, just kind of monster type of stuff. There was a vampire series that Queen Comics Wife really enjoyed from them, as well as some other stuff. But I'll just read this real quick, and if anybody's a fan of monsters and stuff like that, go ahead and pick it up. It's a monster tag team creature feature. Claws out and ready to slaughter. Unleash the beasts and let the bloodfest begin. Monster Tag Team has presented the very best of creature versus creature combat, and now we're delivering an all-out fight for supremacy among the monster elite. It's old guard versus new, as the next breed of terror has to step up and prove it has the teeth to keep the new generation screaming. Does your favorite monster make it through to the next round, or will it bleed out at the feet of one of the OGs of horror? It's a no-holds-barred monster battle royale for the ages. It's the contest of creatures coming to a comic shop near you. That actually sounds really cool. That kind of ties in a little bit, like I was saying at the beginning of the stream, that new video that I dropped last week that I'm hoping to turn into a series of comic showdown, comic book characters fighting down, having a showdown, squaring off against each other, and me just kind of giving my thoughts on who I think could win in that fight. And this is kind of doing that, but with monsters. So that's cool. Yeah, go pick that up, definitely. Next we have, there is no image for this, but if you know, you know, Chainsaw Man, wildly popular anime, wildly popular manga. Chainsaw Man, chapter 210 in this week's Shonen Jump. If anybody collects Shonen Jump, I mean, I know it's more over in Japan and over in the East, but it's also going to be on the Shonen Jump app, which you can read for free. And if you want to go back and read other stuff, older chapters and whatnot, Shonen Jump is only like $3 a month if you want to have unlimited chapters of manga to read. But you can always read the latest manga on the Shonen Jump free, I believe. So Chainsaw Man number 210. It's going to be this week's weekly Shonen Jump. Go check it out on the Shonen Jump app once it's available. Chainsaw Man's a lot of fun. And then the last book that I have for tonight is Batman: The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween, #8. So obviously, this is a follow up. This is a follow up to the original The Long Halloween by Jeff Loeb. And Jeff Loeb is at it again reading this. I honestly didn't know this was happening. I don't know how for the last month I've been doing this show. This has gone under the radar, unless there wasn't an issue in June for some reason. Or did I start this show in July? I don't even know when I started this show now. I think I started this show in June. I want to say it was June. Yeah. So unless it just flew under the radar under my radar in June. I mean, there's some people out there that really love the Long Halloween. I liked it. It wasn't. It's not my favorite Batman, but also I'm not an avid Batman reader. Like I mentioned before, I'm not the biggest DC head. I'm not the biggest DC reader. But the Long Halloween, there's nothing wrong with the original Long Halloween run. It just was not the most interesting thing to me. I obviously as it got to the climax and got near the end there, it definitely ramped up. But getting up to that point was a little drawn out for me. I understand that Jeff Loeb wanted to hit on pretty much every major holiday and a couple of ancillary holidays. But I don't know. It was a little too drawn out in my opinion. But anyway, Batman: The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween. Batman follows Holiday's trail into the ruins of the Falcone family's estate, where he comes face to face with an old foe. I wonder who that's going to be if we look at the cover here. Solomon Grundy. But yeah, I mean, it's worth at least checking out. Jeff Loeb has a very long, storied, and legendary career, especially writing tales over in DC for Batman specifically. So it's at least worth checking out. So go check out The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween. So I'll leave this up here for now, but it is time for some comic book news. Because, like I said, that's why we're not going through every single publisher, and we're not doing any negative recommendations. We're only doing the pull list recommendations, the ones that I'm positively recommending for people to go check out for this week. Because there's comic book news to get into. And a lot of it is coming out of San Diego, but we'll get into that. First, I want to acknowledge some stuff over on X that I bookmarked. So for anybody that remembers the show Ben 10 from Cartoon Network from back in the 2000s, and it extended into the 2010s, but for the most part, Ben 10 was like late 2000s. I think it was like between and 2010 that I think the initial show ran for. But I thought it was pretty cool. I enjoyed it as when I was younger. But Ben 10 is getting its own new comic from Dynamite Comics, now set to release in 2026, which is interesting because Dynamite, I'm curious what's going to happen with them with their whole lawsuit with against Diamond Publishing, because if they lose the money of all the inventory that Diamond just still has in their warehouse that they haven't distributed because they went bankrupt, I don't know how Dynamite is recovering from that, because I think it's like $1 million of product that never got distributed that they paid for from Diamond. So I mean, I guess they're making it up somehow, but I mean, Dynamite's been doing a lot of good stuff with, like I said, Space Ghost, the Herculoids, Thundercats, a lot of the Disney titles that they've had. So I mean, they should be okay. So the fact that announcing that they're releasing a new series in 26 means that they at least should be in good standing for a while. But I mean, Ben 10 was cool back in the day, at least the original iteration of Ben 10. They changed like the once they did a complete overhaul of the animation and the art style behind it, that's what I was like, this is kind of dumb. I mean, they made it, obviously they kept it kid friendly, but it was almost like a dumbed down. It was almost like a dumbing down, kind of like what they did with Teen Titans when they made it Teen Titans Go. Ben 10 had a style very similar to the original Teen Titans show. If it wasn't actually, it may have been the same art team behind the original Teen Titans animated series as well. But once Teen Titans made that switch from Teen Titans to Teen Titans Go, that killed it for me. And same thing with Ben 10. Once it went from Ben 10, like OG Ben 10 art style and everything, to that very dumbed down, almost like preschooler type of animation style, just it was a really odd choice, a really really odd choice for the direction of the art for that franchise. But if this is going to be based around the original Ben 10 storyline, it's really cool to read. It should be a pretty good nostalgia, and that's what Dynamite's been doing. And then the other thing that I want to talk about here is Jason Fabok or Fabic. He is the writer for Rook Exodus, who I've been Rook Exodus is the title at an Image last year. It was my favorite title released in 2024. 6 issues. It was fantastic. And they're doing another 6 issues starting in October, I believe. Hey, Queen Comics wife. Queen Comics came into the room. Queen Comics wife, say hello to the chat. All right, she says hi. But I'm just gonna read this from Jason Fabik. Rook Exodus issue 7 brings back the helmet variant covers that we did for the first 6 issues, which are awesome. We start with Stag, the samurai warrior armed with a red-bladed katana, bows, and arrows. He's a deadly hunter on a personal mission, and you'll get to learn all about him in the next arc, which I was already excited for, and now we get a character like I'm even more excited for this. And then Rook Exodus returns in October. So this is just showing just the base cover and then a couple of the variant covers. Just quick little blurb about the next story arc. I just hope that in between the story arcs we don't get another year between the 2 story arcs. That's all. Now they say it's teen. They rated the book teen, ages 12 to 15. That first volume, that wasn't a 12 to 15 storyline in my opinion. And that was more like a 16 and up storyline, if you ask me. But I don't know. That's just my opinion. But regardless, it was a lot of fun. It was a great story, and I can't wait for Rook Exodus to come out with the first issue of its next story arc in October. So now we're gonna move on to San Diego Comic-Con news. There was a lot of actual comic book news to come out of San Diego Comic-Con this past week, which was awesome. So we'll start with just Marvel's next big thing, San Diego Comic-Con 5. What you missed at Marvel's next big thing. And the first thing that was talked about was, the Punisher, Red Band The Punisher. We're getting Frank Castle back for the first time in years. And it's going to be traditional Frank Castle. Street level justice. Very gritty, very grimy, very violent, and very bloody, apparently. So that should be awesome. This is something about the Zoom, the Sorcerer Supreme. I haven't been following any of that. I'm not really focused on that. This is something that I'm focused on from the pages of Imperial, Planet She-Hulk. So there is I think a 4 or 5 issue event being written by Jonathan Hickman at Marvel right now. It's called Imperial. It's a cosmic story. The planet of Wakanda, the Wakandan planet, and the Hulk home world, and then also the Shi'ar and the Skrull and the Kree are all getting involved. And there's a whole lot of there's a whole game of misdirection going on right now. Some galactic not politicians, but like figureheads or influential bureaucrats, galactic bureaucrats, were assassinated. It was made to look like it was Wakanda. The most recent issue showed us that may not necessarily be the case, but it has been awesome. And what they're going to be doing with Imperial is they're going to be spinning out into other short series. It's going to be called Imperial Wars, where one's going to be Planet She-Hulk, one's going to be Black Imperial Wars, Black Panther Galactic, or something like that. One's going to be Imperial Nova Centurion and Imperial Guardians, which is all going to be really awesome. So I don't know what that's going to mean, though, because She-Hulk was left back on Sakaar, was left back on the planet of Hulks. So I don't know what this is going to mean for her in the at the end of this 4 or 5 issue Imperial storyline, but it should be pretty good. But yeah, we got Nova Centurion also that we're getting, which also should be really cool. And then this is just kind of showing what's going on. Yeah, Planet She-Hulk, Nova Centurion, Black Panther Intergalactic, Exile, Imperial Guardians. These are all titles that are spinning out of that Imperial event that's going on right now out of Marvel. And then these are just some preview pages without any text, without any writing, from Imperial War She-Hulk. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the art in this I am not too fond of. So it's really gonna boil down to the storytelling. I will at least pick up the first. Like I said, Jonathan Hickman has been writing a great, awesome story in the first 2 issues of the Imperial event. But So I'll at least pick up the first issue of this just to see how it is. But I mean, based on this art, the storytelling better be damn good. What are you looking for? What are you looking for? Oh, okay. There you go.
Thank you. She-Hulk sucks, by the way. For the new stuff does.
Well, this is She-Hulk on Planet Hulk. This is. Well, I'm just saying separate from that other stuff. This is completely different. I know, but I'm saying this is separate from this is separate from current She-Hulk continuity as well. I don't know, but you should know there's stuff on the bed.
That's the switch.
Well, why didn't you look to see that there was stuff there? Instead of plopping on the bed.
I just elbowed it.
Doesn't even look, just plops on the bed. Gets hurt.
My bed.
You gotta look at least. But yeah, I'm not too crazy about this. I'm not too crazy in this. This is just preview pages from Imperial War Planet She-Hulk. Yeah, like I said, I'll pick up the first issue of it just because Jonathan Hickman's writing an awesome story with Imperial. But yeah, I'm not gonna hold my breath. Like I said, the story in this better be. It's got to be really good to keep me wanting to buy more issues. But anyway, other news that we got from San Diego Comic-Con, Robert Kirkman, like I said, creator of The Walking Dead, creator of the franchise and universe, he has the reins over at Image Skybound for the Energon universe, which means Transformers, Void Rivals, G.I. Joe, all that stuff, and that whole shared universe there. Robert Kirkman announces the return of Capes. So Capes was an issue, a series that he did that spun off of the Invincible universe when he first wrote Invincible, and we are getting Capes for the first time in 2020. And Capes is just telling stories about other heroes that exist in the Invincible universe. I actually never read Capes, but I saw this announcement, and now I need to go read the original Capes because it sounded really cool. And Robert Kirkman's going to be writing it, so he's going to be bringing his just everything. It's in good hands because it's in the Invincible universe, and it's just going to be Robert Kirkman doing Kirkman things and writing great stories like he always does. So this is just something I wanted to share. But it's just Capes is coming back for the first time in 20 years. Robert Kirkman's at the helm of it, writing instead of passing it off to somebody else. And then at San Diego Comic-Con, we also get Green Arrow is coming in spring of 2026, which again, like I said, I'm not a big DC guy, but I've been starting to get caught up little by little on the absolute type. So absolute Batman, absolute Superman, absolute Wonder Woman, absolute Flash, absolute Green Lantern. Absolute Green Lantern is the only one that I'm not really too fond of. The rest of them are awesome. We're getting Absolute Green Arrow now. But as I was reading this, Absolute Green Arrow is coming in spring of 2026. But we're going to see Absolute Green Arrow in October in the Absolute Evil one shot, which I guess is just a one shot big event that they're setting up for this Absolute. But I'm excited for it. This is going to be cool. It wasn't the only news. In Absolute Wonder Woman number 15, Wonder Woman will meet Absolute Batman by going to Gotham City. Cool. And then Scott Snyder put some information out about the continuation of Absolute Batman, because what the hell was that?
Sorry, sneezed.
Yikes, that was a sneeze. Oh, hey, Comics Life. But Scott Snyder teased some information about Absolute Batman because he's been writing that as well. Deathstroke is coming to Absolute Batman. And is that world's Alfred's best friend? I don't know what that means. Oh, so the Absolute universe is... Well, that's interesting. Deathstroke is going to be portrayed as Alfred's best friend in the Absolute universe. Interesting. Scott Snyder has a new vision for the Bat family in the Absolute universe. Bruce and Selena, which Catwoman, are childhood sweethearts. And in the December issue of Absolute Batman is the Joker issue, and it will be drawn by Jock. I don't know who Jock is, but apparently Joker is coming to Absolute Batman in December. If you guys haven't seen the design of Absolute Catwoman, she's basically got a fishbowl on her head. It's not good look. It's kind of Nick Dragata, who I appreciate as an artist, especially because of his work on East of West back in the day, over a decade ago at Image. But yeah, some of his designs in Absolute Batman are definitely questionable, to say the least. So yeah. But Absolute Green Lantern is coming. That's the key highlight of this article. So Absolute Green Arrow should be awesome. Now, who was it that was saying something about TMNT earlier? I'm trying to find the comment from before. Gorilla Mar, if you're still here, this news specifically is for you then, my man. Yeah, that looked dumb as hell for the Catwoman. Yeah, yeah. So Gorilla Mar, Yang and Williams taking over for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Your boy Aaron is not going to be writing Ninja Turtles any longer moving forward. Whoop, that is not what I wanted to do. I know you said you've been enjoying Jason Aaron's. See, me on the other hand, I have not been enjoying it too much. I wasn't a huge fan of how they end of how Ninja Turtles ended at 250. And with Donnie being like basically bulimic and really sickly looking and having the metal shell on his back from all that stuff that happened at the end of that first major decades spanning storyline. I wasn't a huge fan of how that ended, and so I Jason Aaron, I guess he's been doing the best that he could, but I have not been a huge fan of this new run of TMNT. I mean, it hasn't been terrible. It's not like it's the worst thing ever written. I want I don't like what he's doing with the Foot in New York and that stupid ass DA that's mayor and all that stuff. I'm not a huge fan of the story. I mean, I'll probably read through issue 12 because I want to see what Gene Yang and Freddie Williams do with the art and with the story starting at issue 13. So yeah, Gorilla Mar, I found the comment. I figured it was you. I found the comment. You're good, brother. But yeah, like I said, I'm not necessarily crapping all over Jason Aaron and his work on TMNT. Just I haven't been digging it. That's all. Um, but yeah, I think Gene Yang and Freddie Williams will hopefully bring something different to it and start telling the story in a way that I personally will enjoy. But it's just yeah, it's been hard for me to recommend month in and recommend this the last couple of months. This title, this TMNT run. It's been hard for me to recommend it here on the pull list for the last 7 episodes I've been doing this. So hopefully once we issue 13, that'll turn around. But yeah, man, that's what I got for you though, brother. And then here we go for Cole Hauser and everybody else that's loving Transformers G.I. Joe. San Diego Comic-Con, Transformers and G.I. Joe all-out war in the Energon universe. So I'm going to read this article. This is out of The Beat. I was just reading kind of headlines, but this one I'm actually going to start reading because this is one of my favorite things in comics right now is the Energon universe. So I'm just going to read this whole article and then we'll go through it. The Energon universe charged into San Diego Comic-Con 2025 with a panel that brought some of the loudest cheers, biggest surprises, and most heartfelt moments of the weekend. Take a sip of my drink here. Daniel Warren Johnson, Robert Kirkman, Joshua Williamson, and editor Makowitz. Yeah, something Polish. I should say it better. I'm half Polish myself, but came together for a celebration of 100 kids in a candy store. Chaotic, joyful, and completely unmissable. Right out of the gate, Johnson received a thunderous ovation for his work on Transformers, deservingly so. Daniel Warren Johnson's been crushing it. I actually reached out to him about coming on my show, Talk and Shop, and he was kind enough to give me a response. Unfortunately, he said he was not able to, that he was already filled up on in terms of the amount of podcasts that he was going to be going on and doing interviews and stuff for. But he was kind enough to respond to me, which was awesome. And I told him I loved what he was doing with Transformers, and he really appreciated the compliments. But yeah, right out of the gate, Johnson received a thunderous ovation for his work on Transformers, which is nearing its end. It was a full circle moment for fans and creators alike, and Johnson embraced it with humility and humor. Quote, I came, I saw, and I conquered. I had a wonderful time, every aspect of it, and I knew it in my heart. I have other projects coming out, and it was time for someone else to take the wheel. Get it? Wheel? Optimus Prime. That's That's pretty good. The moderator of the event kept the chaos in check, asking about favorite memories from working together. Johnson lit up as he recalled early editorial reactions. I remember Sean. He was the first editor for Transformers, and Hasbro initially did not love Optimus killing a deer. And Sean asked me for a small change. What if he stepped on a squirrel? The room was already laughing when Makowicz jumped in with some personal love for the run. I just adored that Daniel's doing what Daniel was doing with the book, and I was present when the documents came in. I saw Carly and Spike pushing Optimus, his gun, and it was the greatest thing I've ever seen. They were the first things I would look at, the Transformers issues, and people would message me, and I would tell them to wait. I'm reading Transformers, and I just adored Dan's run. Williamson nodded in approval and chimed in. I just love Daniel, and I remember when I saw him selling bootleg Star Wars ash cans, and we were just amazed. Like, this guy is the future. His Transformers are rated R Pixar. I like that. Rated R Pixar. That's pretty good. Grillamar, no worries. It's working for me, and that might be because I'm still reading through the 2011 run. Yeah, the 2011 run has its highs and its lows for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Overall, not the worst thing that could happen, but there were some moments in that run that were yikes. I'll leave it there. Grillamar says, gotta go do dad life stuff. Take care, guys. Shit, you're hanging out for so long, brother. Please hit that like on your way out, and please share the channel and share the links with all your friends and your family if you don't mind. Cole Hauser goes woohoo because they're talking Transformers. That's right. Crap, where was I on here? Makowicz joked that the emotion was too much. Williamson laughed and added, I'm just sad I'm never going to see him again. Makowicz fired back, he's not dying. Kirkman jumped in instantly, he's dead to us. Meaning Daniel Warrenson. That was the vibe of the whole panel. There were very few moments when attendees weren't laughing or just having fun. It was packed with excitement and full of people proclaiming their love for this emerging universe. Johnson went on to reminisce about his past work. I'm still sad to this day I never got to draw Grimlock. However, he said as he pulled out a commission of Grimlock and held the paper high, the screen lit up with the drawing, a surprise from an attendee specially made for him. Fans finally got a Daniel Warren Johnson Grimlock, and the room exploded with cheers. Oh, man. I want to see what that design looked like, because I love Daniel Warren Johnson's art also, because he's an artist as well. So I love his work. Kirkman then took the mic to dive into what's next. A Generation 1 Bulkhead appeared on screen. Thank you, longtime Transformers fan. We had to figure out what a G1 Bulkhead would look like, and we sure are happy how it came out. He revealed the wraparound cover for issue 24. The start of his and Dan Morrow's run with issue number 25, and he get issue number 26, plus more preview pages. Williamson jumped in and tried to hype up the crowd with a Yo Joe chant, but someone yelled Cobra instead, which set the room into another wave of laughter. He went on to explain how Free Comic Book Day was a major moment for the Energon universe, with the introduction of Hound and Matt Tracker, Makowicz, and added more context. Since he was a unique perspective that nobody else does nobody else in the cast does, and you will see least elements pop up very soon. The announcements kept coming. G.I. Joe number 12 will feature the first appearance of Shooter, Night Force's newest recruit, but Williamson wasn't done yet. He dropped details on the Deadknock War, a twice-monthly event starting in November of 25. Williamson said, Cobra Commander and Duke in the same car working together because Destro decides to kill Cobra Commander and makes the Dreadnoks come after him. It is a very Mad Max adventure, and Duke is the only one who is there to help him, and he wants to bring him in. I love this arc, and I couldn't wait to get to this one. That sounds like it's going to be awesome. G1 Bulkhead is what I call ComixDad. Very funny, Patty Quinn. Very funny. ComixDad, I'm so excited for October with that special comic coming out. What special comic coming out? Oh, do you mean what comic you talking about in October? Which one?
The one that you showed me, I'm all excited.
Invisible Man? Which one? Oh, yeah. I'll talk about that in October when it comes out. There haven't been any articles or anything on that. I just saw. I haven't seen any articles.
I have.
Well, okay, fine. Real quick. The TV show, the Supernatural, is getting a comic book series. Issue number 1's coming out in October. Queen Comics Life is really excited for it. I will talk about that.
What the hell?
I will talk about that on this show in October when it's coming out.
Why are you excited
because she's a Mitchell fan. Anyway, another big moment followed. Tom Riley is now exclusive to Skybound Entertainment. He isn't going anywhere either, Williamson joked, taking a lighthearted jab at Data Warren Johnson. He's a phenomenal talent, and we are glad to have him. The panel turned its focus to Void Rivals, which is awesome, and Kirkman reflected on its place in the Energon universe. It's been amazing to add to the tapestry of the Energon universe and to bring in new characters. It's been one of the biggest honors of my life. It's been so much fun building the world of the Agorians and Zertonians. It's a lot of fun, and now that I'm writing both, there's going to be a lot of interplay between these books. And I'm just having the time of my life writing these books. So yeah, we're going to see a lot of crossover between Void Rivals and Transformers moving forward. He shouted out the surprise reveal of Dora and Solilla action figures. We didn't expect to have them so fast from the crowd. Okay, so they're getting, because it's Hasbro, so they're getting toys for characters of Void Rivals. He explained that upcoming events will turn into individual characters. For example, the Cobra Law Guards are being fleshed out with quirks and traits that give them more personality and distinction. Then the lights dimmed and a new Energon Universe trailer played aloud. Crowd-pleasing, absolutely wild teaser that left everyone buzzing. Before wrapping up, Johnson gave one more heartfelt shout-out. I'm assuming you're updated with the comics. Devastator gives Bruticus a cutter, and I didn't describe how to do it, and George Corona decided to show it happening in the skyscraper behind Optimus. That book would not be amazing as it is without him, so please give him a round of applause. Yeah, George Corona was doing a fantastic job in Transformers as well. Or is going to be, I should say. I've seen some, because we've gotten some previews of pages from 25, and looked awesome. Kirkman closed the panel with one last tease. If you love Grimlock, you will love my first issue. However, he's not in it. But there are elements to it you'll love. At the end of the panel, everyone in attendance got an exclusive Energon Universe ash can. Oh, that's awesome. The Energon Universe panel was genuinely a celebration of what's been built and a promise of what's coming next, with laughs, reveals, heartfelt moments, and a crowd energy that never dipped. It's clear that the Energon Universe is only getting bigger, bolder, and more fun. At San Diego Comic-Con 25, it's clear to see that Skybound is gearing up to make the fans lose their minds. And this is the Energon Universe 2025 Ash. Okay, that's cool. That's really cool. And I think Energon Universe 2025 is coming out. I want to say it's coming out next. Oh no, we already have Energon Universe special for 25. I already have that here. Never mind. That's just a really cool ash can. That's a really cool ash can with a really cool cover. The ComixDad turn around. I don't wanna.
You have dad build as a. Are you some dad builds?
What? Can you talk to me about it later? Is it important that needs to be talked about right now? Sorry about that. And the last thing that I got here, we're going to talk some Ultimate Universe at Marvel, which is very bittersweet because I've been loving the Ultimate Universe, specifically Ultimate Spider-Man. But Marvel announces Ultimate Endgame. Oh, excuse me, guys. Hey, Jose Taco, what's going on, brother? Hail, Jose Taco. How are you, dude? But yeah, so basically what's going on with this is that basically all the writers of the Ultimate titles from Marvel were on a panel, and there's going to be new 5-issue limited series called Ultimate Endgame that is starting, I think, in November or December. But basically for almost 2 years, the maker has been gone, and basically it's just been a countdown to when he's going to be coming back, and we're going to start to get the beginning of the end of this new Ultimate Universe storyline. With it comes Ultimate Spider-Man, and the events in Ultimate Spider-Man will conclude in issue 24, hitting shelves in December. Marvel warns that fans should prepare themselves for a startling finale with dramatic turns for every character in Peter Parker's orbit. I really hope that in the last issue they didn't tell Jonathan Hickman to just, screw it, kill everybody in his life and make Peter miserable. Because that's why I've been loving Ultimate Spider-Man. That's why everybody's been loving Ultimate Spider-Man. We haven't been getting Peter Parker just completely shat on by the writers and by editorial. Jonathan Hickman's been doing it justice. But he went on to talk about just kind of this and these 24 issues and how it's been going. Hickman goes, "This was everything that I pitched. Nothing has deviated. It's been really nice to execute the plan well, and everything culminates into this issue. Fans of the Ultimate Universe are going to. It's been a real pleasure being the writer of Ultimate Spider-Man. Doing this tight continuity stuff, this smaller line, the execution from the company on this has been great, and it stuff we should keep trying to do. Oh, and it's stuff we should keep trying to do. You guys supporting this book is the only reason we can tell we can tell stories this way. Hearing you guys like this gives us the opportunity to do more things like this. So Jonathan Hickman, the way that I'm reading that in between the lines is that Jonathan Hickman is low key throwing some shade at Marvel, because he's saying like, hey, instead of doing these bigger, broader storylines and going on for a couple years and doing new number ones constantly and everything like that, let's do a very tight continuity. Let's not spin everything out into like 20 different titles, or like 30 different titles. Let's not be all loosey goosey. Let's not keep switching writers. Let's just keep it tight. We'll do like a 2-3 year run. Let's be consistent in our story, and let's listen to the fans and what the fans actually want. That's more or less what Jonathan Hickman is saying in that statement, and it's just all the more reason to have all the respect in the world for Jonathan Hickman. Queen Comics Life says, ComixDad, when you're done, I think you should read Dad Builds over on Rumble. We will take a look. But issues ongoing Ultimate titles on sale in November 2025. So and this just, it's everything that just keeps going. Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate Black Panther, the Ultimates, Ultimate Wolverine, which has been awesome. I'm getting caught up on that. Ultimate X-Men, that's next. But yeah, just so we're coming to in December. We're going to be coming to the beginning of the end of the story of this new Ultimate Universe. And it saddens me, but it also has me very excited because the build up for the last almost 2 years is going to hopefully finally pay off in a huge way. But yeah, so let's oh nope, that's not what I want to do. Let's go back over to screen share. Let's leave this back up for the poll list one more time. There, we'll take the Skin Breaker Ash can off, because I don't think many comic shops are going to have that. We'll take Sakamoto Days off, and we'll take Chainsaw Man off, just because that's in Shonen Jump. So I just want to be able to have everybody be able to see all this stuff a lot clearer. But yeah, so here is my poll list recommendations for the week, and I'm going to leave this up here while I take a look at something real quick. Queen Comics Wife made a recommendation for a channel we should raid over to on Rumble. So let me go take a look at that. But I appreciate everybody. Let's see. Queen Comics Life, what are they called? Dad Builds. And they're live right now. Let's see. Who else is live right now, though, too? Oh, was your Savage Dad?
Yes.
Oh, why didn't you just say that?
Because I didn't want to say it. You told me shut up.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. No, you said, have you heard of Dad Builds? You didn't say it was Professor Savage Dad. Queen Comics Life, you should have told me it was Professor Savage Dad.
I was trying to.
No, whatever. Let's see where he's at right now. With this.
He deserves support.
Yeah. Our boy Professor Savage Dad is live over on Rumble right now. So we're gonna raid out over to him. But yeah, everybody, thank you so much everybody for being here. Everybody, please take a screenshot of the poll list, or if you want, I can also, if you reach out to me on X, or if you reach out to me on at my email, thecomicsdad@gmail.com. If you want a screenshot or a better snapshot of the full poll list, something maybe a little more legible than off your phone screen, taking a screenshot of the whole stream right now, let me know. I'll be more than happy to oblige, or I'll just put it up on X maybe on Wednesday morning before I head to the comic shop myself. But yeah, I appreciate you guys so much for being here tonight. The 8 of you on Rumble, 9 of you on Rumble, 5 of you over on YouTube. Everybody, please hit that like, please hit that subscribe or follow, as we're looking to make the push now to 500 on YouTube since we hit 350, and we're trying to make that push into 300 on Rumble before we make that push into the next 100. Please hit repost on Rumble. Please share the stream on YouTube as well. Tell your friends, tell your family. And Jose JX is here with the Rumble flags. What's up, brother? Jose Taco said, I'm a little late. Question. As said in Transformers that issue 25 is new writer, he sounded concerned. Is the new writer is not bad. It is Robert Kirkman, the creator of The Walking Dead and Invincible. He's also currently writing Void Rivals in the Energon universe. I do have some hesitation myself as well, just because Daniel Warren Johnson has been doing a phenomenal job writing Transformers, but Robert Kirkman has an excellent track record, and he has been writing Void Rivals for the last 2 years. And Void Rivals, I'm starting to get caught up on it now. I think I'm on like issue 9, and it's a good read. It's a lot of fun, and Robert Kirkman is pretty much heading the Energon universe anyway. I mean, he wrote or helped write the last 2 years of Energon Universe specials, which is kind of like the yearly book that has all the stories and titles combined into one. But so it's. I mean, there's understandable hesitation and concern with Daniel Warren Johnson stepping down. It's not like we have a no name or we have like some asshat from Marvel stepping in and writing Transformers starting in issue 25. It's Robert Kirkman. Like it's in good hands. I'm just hoping Robert Kirkman can has talked enough with Daniel Warren Johnson, just kind of about the tone that he has set and the tone that Daniel Warren Johnson maybe would have liked to see moving forward if he was sticking with Transformers. But at the same time, Robert Kirkman's going to come in and do what Robert Kirkman wants to do at the same time. Skybound and Hasbro are basically giving Kirkman the keys to the kingdom of the Energon universe. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. We just got to kind of wait and see. Issue 25 is in November. So I would say maybe give it to like February to see how it goes till we get to like issue 29. And then we can make judgment from there. But You Wrong is here with Spidey Headbags. What's up, You Wrong? Thank you for being here, brother. I appreciate you, man. Cole Hauser says, great stream, bro. Thanks, Cole Hauser. I appreciate you, dude. Sassy Soba says, hail guys, hail ComixDad, hail Sassy Soba. But yeah, guys, I appreciate y'all being here again. Please hit that like, please hit that subscribe, that follow, that repost, that share, all that good stuff. Check out the link tree. Go follow me on X. Follow me on all the platforms. Go follow Queen Comics Wife as well. Go check her out. Let me grab her link tree, because she just hit 100 on YouTube and 200 on Rumble this past week. So let me put her link in all the chats here. Okay, there's her link tree. And like I said, guys, we are going to be raiding on over to our boy Professor Savage Dad and his new Rumble channel, Dad Builds. So everybody on Rumble, hang out for that raid. But everybody on YouTube, on Kick, thank you so much for being here, guys. I appreciate you all. Like I always say, I'm sorry. Come back tomorrow night over on Rumble exclusively. So if you're watching on YouTube, create a Rumble account. Come on over. There's a link in the description on YouTube so you can actually go and create a Rumble account through that link. They're free to make regardless. If you use that link, Rumble, it's a little recognition for me with Rumble. So if you don't mind doing that, that'd be awesome. And then follow the channel on Rumble. But come back tomorrow night on Rumble only. We're going to continue more OG Pokemon Red Game Boy gameplay on the Rumble side. That's going to be cool. Thursday, we have Panda Sub 2000 on Talking Shop. He's gaming channel on Rumble. Awesome guy, the ultra best at gaming, and also heavily involved in the production of Side Scrollers podcast. And then check out Queen Comics Life as well. But yeah, guys, I appreciate you all so much again. As usual, be good to yourselves, be good to each other, support your local comic shops, support independent comic creators, and support small content creators like myself, like Queen Comics Life, like Professor Savage Dad, who we're going to raid over to on Rumble, and many other friends of the channel as well. But thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you all. This is ComixDad saying have a great week. Go check out all these new comics, and you all take care. I'm signing off.
Assemble true believers, it's time for the show. ComixDad's in the house with the books you should know. He's flipping through pages, the good and the bad. Superhero showdowns and villains gone mad. With a wink and a grin, he's your comic book guy. So grab your pull list, let's take this ride. It's the pull list, here we go. ComixDad's got the highs and lows. From epic wins to flops that miss, he's breaking down the books on the pull list. Superheroes, villains, and lore, he's got